everyone. Today's session is all about mastering Infrascale Backup and Disaster Recovery operation through our dashboard. So it's a single control panel for backup, replication, failover, and recovery. So by the end of this 15-minute session, you will know how to achieve your RPO, RTO goals, reduce downtime with real-time monitoring, perform seamless cloud failover, and DR testing. So let's start with our main dashboard view. So what you see here is your command center. Everything from the backup status, the appliance health, the the hybrid cloud status, and to manage the solution. These are the options which help you to monitor, perform backup, perform restore, to perform failover. So let's go through each one of them here. First thing what we'll do is we'll go to the site status page, and we will first access the appliance dashboard. So under the site status, you will have your appliance listed. Click on the settings icon, click on manage primary. That will take you to the appliance dashboard. Okay, the appliance dashboard gives you all the information how the solution is performing. There is multiple widgets which are available within the dashboard, which you can add in order to perform or in order to monitor how the solution is working. So it gives you most of the details, like what is the job statistics, size of the backup jobs, how the replication is happening, what is the replication transfer rate, what is the usage, what is the disk throughput. So it gives you overall information about how your solution is working. On the appliance dashboard, the clients tab gives you the information how many servers are configured for DR solution. So our solution provides a native support for VMware and Hyper-V. That means you need to just go to the VMware tab, click on add connection, and connect to your ESXi host or the Hyper-V host. All the servers which are deployed on that particular hypervisor will be auto-identified once you establish the connection. So you'll provide the IP address, username, and password. Once you click on connect, it will automatically establish the connection, and it will populate all the servers which are configured under that hypervisor. And then it's a simple step to configure DR. Right click, click on register. Once you register the server, either from VMware or Hyper-V, it will be listed on the summary tab. The summary tab shows the VM name, or from either is it in a Hyper-V or a VMware VM. It gives you when was the successful last backup, what is the protected bytes, and it gives you more information for reporting purposes. Okay, you can download the CSV format for any particular report on the summary tab. You also can go ahead and add multiple columns based on what type of report you want to download. On the summary tab, you might be seeing a verification tab, which also gives you a notification whether the snapshot which was backed up for the server is healthy or not. So what it does a verification where it uses that particular backed up snapshot to spin up the VM on the appliance, and it validates those information, validates those services, and gives you a notification whether it was successfully able to spin up that particular VM. So if there is any failure, okay, if it fails to load that VM, it will send you a notification where you can go to the support tab, download the logs for that particular VM, and you can validate why the snapshot backup failed or why it was not successful. And based on that, you can troubleshoot and fix the issue. You can also raise a support request from our appliance dashboard itself, where we would get the ticket and we would help you out. Our support team would be able to provide you a tunnel number where they can take a remote access and help you out in resolving any particular issue with the backup and DR. Now let's go back to our clients tab, which gives you all the information. Under the edit tab, you can go ahead and manage all the VMs, retention settings, the schedules, and how often you want to verify those snapshots. So you have all the features available within the edit tab for each VM, where you can just click on the green item on the schedule tab to use the existing schedule, or you can go ahead and create a new schedule based on your requirement. Then you can also set the retention for the jobs on the appliance which is deployed locally in your network, and also define the retention for the data which is replicated to the Google Cloud environment. Our solution provides multiple flavors where you can have the Google Cloud as a secondary DR site, or let's say you need to have to meet all the compliance where you need to have the complete control over the data. You can go ahead and choose another flavor where we can deploy another appliance or similar to your primary appliance, which is deployed in a co-location. It can be your location or a partner location or in a co-location of the customer. So you can deploy that and act as a DR site for the disaster recovery solution for your end users. The boot verification gives you the capability to enable how often you want to verify those snapshots which are backed up. That's about the summary tab, and the configuration is very simple. For VMware and Hyper, you need to just establish a connection and configure the servers. Let's say you have a physical Windows box. You need to create those Windows physical box on server name in the appliance dashboard, where you'll provide the name, the description of that particular server, what role it is performing, and you'll select the IP address, the primary management IP address, and click on OK. That creates a server, and it also creates the information here, and then you will use the push client settings to pair that particular physical server to our appliance. Once that has been configured and it is able to pair, you'll see a green tick mark. So that means you have used an agent to configure that server for DR. That's about the configuration. Okay, and the jobs tab would give you all the job history, of the backups which have been performed for all the solution. You can also again use the advanced tab to download the report for any particular reporting purposes. Now let's look into the replication tab. If you go to the replication tab, you have the option to where you want to replicate our Google Cloud storage, or let's say you want to have a secondary site to be configured, you can use a secondary. Right, so there are multiple options where you can configure the DR for the customer. The replicated job status will show all the replication, but the replication is completed or successful. Okay. Now, this is about replication. Now let's look into the restore part of our solution. So let's say you want to perform a single files and folder restore. You can use the browse and restore option, where you can browse the job, and you get three options to restore. One is component files for OVF, VMDK, and VHD files, where you can export it to an USB drive, and then use that OVF and VMDK file to spin up this new VM on another hardware. Contain files gives you an option to download or restore granular files and folder. The application data will help you to restore any particular application data on that particular server. Let's check on contain files. So I'm going to select that, click on next. You get two options, either restore full path or restore only the selected items. I'm going to select the selected items only, click on next, and click on finish. That will browse the job, and it would give you a browse and restore window. Here you can go ahead and restore it to the same machine or any other machine which is configured for DR. You can also use the appliance network share, where it creates a temporary network share where you can provide this path and the username, and the end user can download the data. This is a read-only share which is created, hence the end user can only download the data. He cannot either upload or make any changes to the share. As an administrator, you want to download the data through your browser, you can use the download arrow key here. That will download that particular folder as a zip document. You can further browse the data, and let's say you want to download a single file. Okay, that will be a blue hyperlink. You click on that and you'll download the data through your browser. That's about browse and restore. in a scenario where one of the VM is down in the VMware or Hyper-V, okay, you can just go ahead and perform a restore, VM restore, where you can use the restore option, which is available on the top menu, or if you do a right click on that particular server, you get the restore option. You select the server, the job, click on next. You can restore it on the existing virtual machine, or you can create a new one. So you'll select that, click on next. You'll select the the host which you want to restore. So I have two hosts. I can select any one of the hosts and perform the restore. I'll select the resources, click on next. You can name them and click on finish. Once it's finished, it will perform the restore. And if you see here as an example, primary POP is your primary server and the secondary POP is the restored server. So you can go ahead and perform the VM restore on the VMware or the Hyper-V. Now let's look into our main critical feature, which helps you to meet all those RTOs, right? So you can go ahead and turn on a VM on the appliance which is deployed locally whenever there is an issue with that VM. So let's say your entire VMware ESXi host is down, or let's say one of the server is down. You can use the boot tab to boot that server on the appliance on the production network and continue your business. So you can test this anytime, right? Where to check how long it takes to boot that particular VM. So as an example, I'm going to select the server here. I'm going to select the resources. I'm going to select the production network, and it automatically chooses the MAC address, which will help you to which will restore all the configuration of the server, like the VHCP, DHCP, DNS. All those settings are restored when you have the MAC address selected, and you click on boot. That will immediately start spinning up the server on the appliance and continue the business. So that would help you to mitigate any particular downtime, right? So immediately you can spin up that server on the appliance. So you have selected the customer network, production network. So when the server comes online, you can start accessing the server, or your application starts running, your business continues without any disruption. Let's say you want to perform a particular test, or like you want to do a DR drill. So you can use the appliance to perform the DR drill, where you can use the boot entire group. So this will turn on all the server on the appliance based on the latest snapshot available, and it will go ahead and bring the servers on the production network, and you can continue the business. So this helps you to mitigate any kind of downtime for the customer. Let's say in a scenario where your complete network is down and the appliance is down because of some disaster. So you can immediately fail over the entire resources to the cloud or the secondary DR site, which is deployed for the DR solution. So in the cloud scenario, you will go to the disaster recovery, hybrid cloud status. It will take you to the hybrid cloud menu, and you will have your cloud appliance, which will be turned on, and you can click on manage to access the cloud cloud platform. Okay, once you're on the cloud platform, you have the same dashboard which is available on the primary appliance. You can go to the boot tube and again use the same boot group option to boot all the servers. Okay, I'm taking one server as an example here. I'm going to select the disaster recovery network, which is configured while the implementation is done, and you'll click on boot, and that will turn on the server on the cloud resources. So these are the steps and process to perform a disaster recovery, failover, and failback using our disaster recovery solution. Failback is a simple process. Again, you will create a backup job once your production network is online or the production server is online, and you will go to the primary appliance, go to the cloud option there, and you will pull back the job to the primary appliance and restore it to the server or to the primary server. In this way, you can fail back with ease. in case of any particular scenario. So this is Infrascale Backup and Disaster Recovery solution. The dashboard gives you all the capability to manage the solution on a single pane of glass, making things easy to manage the solution in case of any particular disaster. You can use the primary appliance dashboard to boot the server so that you can meet those RTOs. And in case any particular major disaster, you can access the cloud appliance and fail over all the servers on the cloud resources and continue your business. Thank you so much for attending this particular session. If you have any questions, you can just go ahead and directly send an email to Infrascale, and we can support.infrascale.com, and we can address any particular issues. Thank you so much for attending this. Have a wonderful day.